in the country of the 4 big banks, I'm the only black woman who's in that kind of position. I'm hotcakes.
Yeah. Chocolate.
I'm dying inside.
Yeah.
I'm traveling. I've been to Paris. I've been to Milan.
Yeah.
I've been.
Yes, with working.
I'm arriving, right? I'm wearing nice suits, red bottoms.
Yeah.
I'm there.
All the wigs.
You know, on Monday when you have to put your car on gear to head forward to work,
Yes.
I always found myself on reverse.
So Queen, thank you very much, and thank you for giving us your precious time. We know it's very valuable. It's not everyone that can just give you your time and say, let's spend time together. But thank you for coming through, and basically what we want to do is to share with our audience. Every person's life is a lesson for someone else.
That is true.
Yeah, so we just want you to, share your nuggets of wisdom, some of the other things that you've experienced in your life. Because I know you're turning 142. She's getting to 142, like next week.
Sorry, man, I just gave it to you.
How could you?
Yeah. Yeah, so we just want you to also share with the things that helped you and stuff. I know we're still living, we're still blessed with this opportunity of living. So we just want to get to a point where we also share what we have learned, and help ultimately is to help people to understand that no matter where you are, that's not the end. You can still get to another point.
No greater truth.
Yeah.
No greater truth. I think we are done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And out.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah. Yeah, we dropped the mic. But we can't drop it. It's still held.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for having me here. Thank you for the invite. Thank you for the warm smiles that I've received since I got here.
Yeah.
And great things for life.
Yeah, definitely.
Huge things for life.
Yeah. So apparently you were born. So I don't know why.
I heard the rumor.
Yeah, they said, and you even got a certificate before you finished the course. A birth certificate.
Just for arriving.
Yeah. So please take us through your journey, Queen.
Oh my goodness, my birth story. So I am one of 3 kids, and I'm the last one.
Oh, nice.
My parents wished for a boy, so I have an older sister and an older brother. They were hoping for 1 girl, 2 boys.
Okay.
But I surprised them, and I showed up as a girl.
Yeah.
But I have a fascinating birth story. I arrived as the last kid. I was late. Very rarely are last kids late. It's usually the first child that could be a little bit late, but I was late. And everybody waited with my mom waiting for me to be born, and I didn't show up. And they decided to pop out.
Yeah.
And so did I. So they popped out going that direction, and I was like, I am coming, and I'm coming now. There's no time to make it to the hospital.
Yeah.
I'm coming right now.
Yeah.
So other kids get born onto a bed and wrapped up in nice little sheets.
Yeah.
I was born in a dish at home.
Wow.
And luckily my mom was a nurse, so she knew what to do.
Oh.
And the one thing that she just forgot to do was just to clean my mouth. So I grew up with a baritone.
Yeah, okay.
So I was very scared to speak as a child, because when I'm speaking, what you hear is, yes, I am here.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm here. So I literally used to pull my mom's skirts and whisper, you know, because I don't want the eyes. And that was the start of the challenge I had growing up with my voice.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't mean my literal voice, because, it's either you have a voice or you don't have a voice in the world.
True.
That was the start of it. And I didn't know until much later because, life makes sense in reverse.
Yes.
But at the time, that was part of me not having a voice. I can't speak up because I'm worried about how are you going to react to this baritone.
Yeah.
But anyway, so my sister jokes and says I've got a dish tendencies. She's referring to the dish I was born in.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I was born in Showelo in Soweto.
Oh, nice.
My parents, I'm born to two parents who are both from royalty. That's how I got my name anyway, literally. My mom is Swazi royalty, and my dad is, like, his history hails from Zululand, but his parents were born in Zambia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so my paternal grandfather married a local girl in Zambia in, I'll tell you the name of the town just now when I remember it.
Okay.
And so when my grandfather came back, my grandfather left to save his life because there was a war. They were fighting for chieftaincy.
Oh.
And he was next, but he knew they were going to kill him. So he left the country and came to South Africa and met my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, who was a Tswana lady. So I was brought up Tswana, but my nationality is, well, I had to hide that I'm not from here. My grandfather had to hide that he's not from here because back then, apartheid days. So he had to assume a South African identity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he is, for some reason, that word is like playing right there at the back. So anyway, I was named after my great-grandmother, the chiefess.
Oh, yeah.
But my mom and my grandmother could not call me by her name out of respect for her and her position.
Oh, okay.
And then they settled on calling me Queen as honoring her. And that's how I got my
Got
name.
green blood, eh?
Yes. I mean, royal blood.
Yeah.
Yes. You are excused. So that's when I was born. I was given that name in recognition of that.
Okay.
But I must say, for me, when I hear that story, because I love hearing my birth story, it tells me that I was meant to be here. Because I could have died with my mom giving birth to me just by herself.
Yeah, with the woke
But I
process,
had to be here. I had to be here. And I wanted to be here in my own terms.
Yes.
And I think that's literally how I lived my life.
Nice. That's power. That's power.
My own terms. But life literally dribbled me and kicked me and did all sorts of things. But I still kind of like, okay.
Number one.
Might not happen the way that everyone does it. I'll do it my way.
Yeah, yes. No, that's good.
That's why we're here. We want to hear the dribbling and the
I will. Oh, yeah. The wonderful dribbling and kicking. There are so many of those. So my dad came from a very poor family. So when my grandfather landed here, he obviously lost all the glory of his life back there. He has to start from nowhere and nothing.
Yeah.
So my dad grew up very poor. And my mom, on the other side, growing up in Swaziland, grew up in total direct opposite of how my dad grew up.
Oh, yeah.
She was born to a family of entrepreneurs. Her mom had her own business. Dad had his own business. So she was brought up by entrepreneurs. So I love the entrepreneurial side. Yeah. And my parents met, as I said, my mom started off as a nurse, but after she married my dad, they started their own business and had flourishing businesses. So I grew up to parents who were not working for anyone, who were working for themselves.
Okay.
And I think that my dad, the thing about life is this: if you don't deal the stuff that happened on your perceptions of your life when you were young, they always come back to haunt you.
Yeah.
So my dad became a very abusive man because of how he interpreted his life.
Oh, okay.
So you and I can be born into the same family, but your interpretation of the situation and mine could be completely different.
That's correct.
And I could take it as, I'll make my fate, and you could say, because of these two people, therefore it's over. So my dad wrestled with his interpretation of life, and it came out from an abusive side.
Oh, okay.
But the man was brilliant. He was a brilliant entrepreneur. He started businesses. He was rolling with the right people on the other side. And he showed me that it was possible. But the one thing he kept on saying is, if you do go and work, and you work for someone else, for how long are you going to do that for? That was always his words. So even if I chose the corporate route when I was growing up, but I chose it because I was trying to get away from him and his abuse. As a little child, these types of parents who work until late, because as entrepreneurs, they open their own shop, they close their own shop. So they open it early and they close it late. So with the other kids in the neighborhood, the parents are getting off the 5 o'clock bus. We all run to the 5 o'clock bus to fetch the parents. Everybody's parents are there but mine. But I'm just going to the bus because I'm a kid, I'm enjoying playing. So I associated that entrepreneurship and that life with struggle and abuse. So I decided I want to go the direct opposite. Because that's the thing with our parents. When kids look at their parents, they say it's either I'm going to end up exactly like you, or I want to be the direct opposite. And I chose the direct opposite route. So I went that route.
Nice.
But I always had the love for learning. My mother was a big reader, she still is, and I just had love for learning. So I went to school, went to the same school as my elder siblings. But when I went to school, the teachers called me, my sister's other name is Portia, and they called me Little Portia.
Oh, okay. Oh, from the
because they know her and she's been ahead, and now I'm Little Portia, and I cannot explain how upsetting that was to me. That was my second fight of life, where I'm fighting for my identity. Remember Elia spoke about fighting for my voice?
Identity,
Now I started my fight for my identity, because now Queen does not exist. All that exists is Portia, and Portia is double. And if I'm anything that's different from her, then I'm disappointing, and the whole story, it was too much. So I started wanting to go to different schools than my sister. But then my mom and my dad are working. They're at their businesses. No one is here to look for the school for me. So I had to learn to find my own schools. Because I wanted my identity so much that I was willing to go to, and I would work further. Because I need a place where I can be me. And I mean, the struggle with identity, you'll hear, I'll keep going back to it, because I had so many problems with the identity. But one day I made a decision, and I'll tell you about that decision in just a moment. So I grew up making decisions about where I want to go to school, and I would take the initiative myself. I'd come to my mom and say, I found the school, here's the school fees, here's all I need you to say is yes. I've done everything, just say yes.
Is this primary high school?
This is primary school, from primary school. And I don't know why. My mom always said yes. She supported me and she just let me be. So went, and when I hit higher primary school, and that was the time when the precipice of freedom of South Africa, and we had a lot of money coming in from outside countries wanting to educate. And I then formed part of this program called Gifted Child Program. And it was really external people's money coming in to educate us. And I remember a lot of people saying, that's guilt, white guilt money. And I was like, I don't care. I don't care. It's going to give me the opportunities. My dad and my mom could afford to take me to school, but my dad, because of his upbringing, he was tight-fisted. You can imagine, if you grow up poor and you start having money, either you overspend it or you hold it too tight. So my dad had a little bit of both, right? Held it too tight for everybody else. But he splashed on himself. I mean, the guy wore shoes that were 2,000 Rand in the 80s. You do the value time.
With that time, that's...
Right. So for me to get to fancy schools, it was up to me. And at least that was the conclusion that I drew.
Nice.
So that's how I decided I'm going to the gifted child program. They
Yeah.
placed me in some school,
Yeah.
into, at the time they were called multiracial schools.
Yes.
Like, right, so absolutely exciting. But then my dad, as I said, he was abusive, he was absent. There was so much going on, a lot of infighting at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I went to a boarding school to avoid all that. And unfortunately, so now I'm 13 years old. And at the end of that year, I come back home pregnant. And my dad, as abusive as he was, of course, the guy was going to kill me, and I knew it.
Yeah.
I was just literally waiting
Yeah.
for him to find out and kill me.
Sure.
But as God would have it, he had I really believe he had a mental breakdown just around about December. So schools closed, so about 2 weeks after I came back from school.
Okay.
He had a mental breakdown and literally ran the whole family out of the house trying to kill us. But I knew that we were going to make it. For some reason, I knew we were going to make it. And he gave up, took all his stuff, and he left. That's how my dad left home. He was never to return on that day.
Yeah.
But that was before even I knew I was pregnant. So my family is now scattered. Dad has left. Mum, to save her own life, because he wanted to kill her above everybody else. Mum left and went back to her home. So now it's just us kids left.
Yeah.
And that's when I discover that I'm actually pregnant. I'm like, oh my God, the guy is going to kill me if he finds me.
Yeah.
So I literally would sleep with money, 20 rand in my pocket, sleep with shorts underneath. Yes, you could wear your nightie on top, but shorts underneath.
Yeah.
Techies right on the side, just in case he shows up and I need to run and flee and save my life.
Sure.
But it never happened that way. I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah.
That was my other big struggle with my identity and my voice. They collided there because I was now identified as that girl who has a child.
Oh, yeah.
So again, I lose my name.
Yeah.
I walk down the street, pointing. And at the time, teenage pregnancy was not as common as it is right now.
Yeah.
So people would swear, spit, throw stones, anything they felt like throwing, they would
get
throw
a label
at me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because I just carried a label, whether I'm working with my child or I'm working alone. It was so abusive, so abusive. So it felt like the abuse left my home and became a community thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I look back to that right now. My son is 30-something years old now.
Yeah.
Independent, done well, praise God is all I can say.
Nice.
I look back now and I think that was the best thing. The worst thing was the best thing that happened to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Having him that time, the community completely wrote me off. As far as they were concerned, that was my life. It was over.
Wow.
And I think so did my dad.
Yeah.
I was a daddy's girl. I love mom. I still do. She's still here. But daddy.
Yeah.
Daddy.
There's this thing with girls and dads.
Yeah, daddy was everything. So he wrote me off. So here I am. I'm a complete outcast. And I need to figure out what am I going to do with my life because they cannot be right. I had the thing in my mind that says, but what makes them worthy of declaring my life over?
Yeah.
And I heard about God. My paternal grandfather was an evangelist, a preacher. So I heard God was familiar to me.
Yeah.
And I always used to think they're not God. But I had this thing inside of me that I have to rise above all that.
Yeah. That's
And I used to say, and I didn't understand it, I said it over and over again, surely. And I would say it to myself because I don't have a voice out there. Surely there has to be more than this.
true. Yeah.
And from the surely, I decided I want to go back to school. So when I was at home, my son was born in April. So school finished in December. So I can't tell you how much I cried when I was told I can't go back to school that year.
Oh,
because, of course, I'm going to be showing it's not allowed, whatever.
yes, yes.
And I was more sad about not going back to school versus being pregnant. It meant nothing to me. I'm so young. I'm so naive. I don't get it. All I care about is going to school, because at school I have a voice.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm learning. I'm
yeah.
smart. I can answer. So it's okay. But everywhere else, I do not have a voice. So what pregnancy took away from me was my voice in double time rather than just once, because now I'm not at school. Now I've got this judgment, this black huge stain on my life.
Yeah.
And as far as they're concerned, it's the end. But I knew I had to keep my mind sharp.
Yeah.
So we had this maths textbook called Classroom Maths.
Okay.
And in Classroom Maths at the back, you'd have the answers to the questions. And they'd have questions, and then they'd have a couple of questions with an asterisk next to them, meaning that these are the difficult ones. They're the next level
Okay.
type of questions.
Yeah.
Now, because I've been in school the previous year, I've done the easy questions.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Now I decided that, okay, cool. Since I'm at home, I'm not going to school.
Yeah.
Let me do the tough
difficult
questions, the
ones.
challenging
Yeah.
questions, the ones with the asterisks. I know the answer.
Yeah.
I just need to figure out how I calculate to get to the answer.
Yeah.
And I did that every day. I had a timetable. I'm studying maths. I'm reading English. I'm doing as if I was going to school. And that's what kept me sane in that year of staying home to have the child.
Yeah. So on your own, this was
I'm on
something
my own.
driven from your own.
On my own.
Wow.
I'm on my own. My mom's come back from Swaziland to look after me and the child.
Okay.
Actually, my mom came back on the day my son was born. It was amazing. It was as if she knew.
Wow.
So, but between then, even after my son was born, I was still doing that. I just felt I had a need to keep my mind sharp.
Yeah. Okay.
And no one was stimulating me in any way. All the friends I had when we went to Gifted Child Program and went to the different schools we went to, there were kids from the neighborhood.
Okay.
They literally told me that they cannot be my friends anymore. Some of them told me that their parents said, oh, I'm a bad influence. Their kids are going to end up wayward. As if I felt pregnant because I was wayward.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
So I had no friends. I had no life. All I could do is be here. And if I stepped outside the house, I'm going to be spat at. So just stay at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very difficult at that age.
It was horrible. My family has just fallen apart.
Yeah.
I can't go back to school. I'm this thing. And when my dad left that night, that fateful night, he said he's never seen kids that stupid. We will only survive in life because of his name. I never forget the words, not because I'm bitter about it, but the words made me. And by that I mean, I'm not stupid. Like I listened to his words and I said, I'm not stupid. So I don't know what he's talking about. Okay, great.
Yeah.
2, he says, I will only live, I will survive because of his name. I don't think anyone knows him. I'm young, I'm 13, I'm having this thought. I don't think anyone knows this guy.
Yes.
You know, and...
Like what?
And he's
what
not
does that
God.
mean?
And he's not God. That was the thing that kept on playing in my head. He's not God. He may have contributed in me arriving here, but he's not God.
He was part of the process. It was a vessel.
Yeah, he just had to deliver a seed and that was it. He's not God. And I am so grateful for those very abusive words, but they made me. They made me.
Nice.
So I asked my mom, please, can I go back to school? And my mom said, no doubt, you have to go back to school. Because if you don't go back to school, this is where your life is going to end. And I said, I might as well die now if this is where my life is going to end. Because I believe there's so much out there. And she said, what is it? I said, I don't know. There's so much out there.
Wow.
And surely, and I kept on telling her, surely. Surely there's so much out there. I don't know what it is. And she said, yeah, you can go back to school. But I couldn't go back to that school. I was kicked out of that gifted child program. Now I have to kind of figure out how I do it.
Yeah.
My mom was working with my dad in their business together. So after he left, my mom had no work anymore. We have no income at home. Zero.
Yeah.
And in as much as my mom had worked so much towards that business, but we had nothing. So my mom, a qualified professional nurse, went and looked for a job as a driver just to feed her family.
Okay.
I'm forever grateful. And then I went back to school.
Yeah.
And again, I looked for my own school. Looked for a school that we couldn't afford. I just knew what I wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we went to school. I went to school, got a couple of people to contribute just for me to go to school.
Yeah.
Just transport money, forget the fees. I figured the fees, some miracle was going to happen. That was the decision. And I promise you, somehow the fees were paid. Sometimes the principal would tell me someone came and paid my fees, and I don't know who it is.
Wow.
To this day, I still don't know.
Wow.
Went to school, but I struggled with parenting as a teenager. You're a mom, I'm sure you get what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Just having to deal with this toddler, and boys are full of energy.
Yeah.
You guys don't stop.
No, yeah.
You guys
must
don't
run.
stop, right? I
Yes.
must run, and I need to do my homework. I'm tired. I've had a day. So I just really struggled.
Yeah.
And then I desired to go back to boarding school because I felt like that would buy me space to exist and be a child.
Yeah.
The first few months in that new school after I had the kid were easy because no one knew.
Right.
Okay.
Somehow someone found out. And then the hazing and the torture all began all over again.
Yeah, because of already that status. And,
Right.
and, yeah.
So I went back inside and spent my time just reading books and just really keeping my head down. And this is what I used to say to myself: failure is not an option.
Yeah.
Failure is not an option. All right. I had a child. I can't. But I missed out on my childhood.
Yeah. Yeah.
The blessing is I got focused, but I missed out on my childhood.
No. Okay.
Because all that I wanted to do was get through school.
Yes.
But you know what life is. Ne?
Yeah,
Life is what happens when you're busy doing all the other things.
True. True. Yeah.
So I missed out on the playing and the whatever. But the gift of the focus for me is it's priceless.
It
Focus
is.
started young, man. Like you had.
Yeah.
It started when they went the other way, and then you decided.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
That's been the theme of my life.
Yeah.
That's really and then of course I also became overly responsible at a young age,
Yeah.
which put me at risk of one day as an adult just throwing wind to caution and just going crazy. It did put me at risk of that because it's tiring to be responsible.
Yeah, I know.
It's exhausting. Some days you just want to pick up your money and just blow it.
Yeah, that's when you appreciate the parents did a lot for us.
Yeah. So I went, anyway, eventually I went to boarding school, focused. So I did my last 2 years in boarding school and then matriculated from there.
Yeah.
And I remember the other kids talking about what they're going to do after matric. And they were talking about going to varsity and taking up. Like, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
But it sounds nice. I wanted to.
Just jump on the wave.
Whatever it is. Because remember, I don't know much about what's out there. I just know that there is more.
Oh.
And anything that sounds like it's going to get me to this more,
Okay.
I want it.
You want?
I
Oh,
want
okay.
it.
Okay. So like, at that point, did you have like something that you were saying, like, I want to be like a carpenter,
No.
I want to be like a lawyer or something like that?
No, not at all. So
Yeah.
a couple of my dreams died when I lost my dad and had a child.
Oh, okay.
So as a child, I used to, My mom and my sister laugh about this.
Yeah.
Every time I learned something at school, I'd come back home and teach any fixed object that would listen to me. I'd teach this cushion. I'd teach the walls. I'd do exactly everything that the teacher did.
Yeah.
So if when she was teaching, she sneezed mid-sentence, I'd sneeze mid-sentence.
I saw that. When you started, I saw that. I said,
It's part of the teaching. Yeah, so I would literally do everything.
Yeah.
And then when the pregnancy came, I lost all my dreams. I just knew that I wanted something, but I didn't know what it was. Community and society told me that it was over.
Yeah.
So dreaming about being anything was useless, is the message I received. But at the same time, I was trying to rise above it and say, there must be more.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not this dream, but
Yes.
there must be more. So I had no specific thing I wanted. So I applied for every bursary because I knew money is the issue.
Yeah. You
I applied for every bursary. If they were looking for a
resources.
chemical engineer, I want to be a chemical engineer. Oh, you're looking for this? I want to be that. I applied for everything. And for varsities, I applied for a couple, but mainly wanted to go to UCT. Why? I wanted to go far from home so that I still hold the space to study. Because when I am here, I'm a mom.
Oh.
And I'm struggling to be a mom, to be a young girl, and to do it all. I don't know how to do it all. So I just need to go far. And for me, UCT was far.
Yeah.
They didn't
That makes
accept
sense.
me. Their loss.
Was it? Yeah.
They had no clue what they missed out on.
Missed out on a queen.
Missed out
Royal
on
blood.
me, but I landed at the right place.
Yeah.
I studied in Rhodes University in Grahamstown.
Oh, nice.
Met wonderful people. I am so grateful that I landed there.
Nice.
So what's the message? Doesn't matter what you had your eye on. Where you land up is where you should.
Oh, okay.
That's what I learned there. That if they don't accept me here, but they accept me there, it means I was supposed to be where I land up.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to cry about that path. It's a fantasy. Whatever I think about it, I'm fantasizing. It's not reality.
Yeah.
My reality was in Rhodes, was not in UCT.
Yeah.
You know.
Nice.
So, and I studied, I got a bursary for computer science.
Okay. Oh, nice.
So, and how did I get it? I just applied. They interviewed me and they asked me, why computer science? I said, oh, it just sounds amazing. And so what does computer science mean to you? And I was like, it's the science of computers. And I think that's fascinating. I don't even know how I got that bursary. Honestly, I think it's God. Like, I had a date with destiny.
Yes.
And I didn't even know what to expect.
Yeah.
So I went to my lectures, and first lecture was told, forget everything you learned at school, only remember how to read and write. I went, oh my God, that's good.
Let's start.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's start.
And I attend this computer science class, and I'm like,
Well,
what? Code? What is coding?
Yeah.
Everything is like, I'm shocked every day when I go to class. They're like, but you applied for this. I said, I know. I just that's the only money I had.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just studying and
So sorry, Queen.
Yeah.
On the so no, wasn't there any influence elsewhere for you selecting the computer science? So it was just
no. It
seeing
was
the paper and say,
whoever's
"I'm
going
gonna
to
tick this
pay,
one." Yeah.
whoever's willing to pay, that's the one I'm studying.
Nice. Number one.
So that's how I ended up.
Well, it's Rhodes, right? Let me
Rhodes,
go
yeah.
there. Yeah. I'm gonna.
No, so I got a bursary. I got a bursary from Goldfields,
Yeah. Okay.
the mining house.
Oh yeah.
And I went, they said, wherever I want to study is fine.
So was it because of you had good grades or what? Or,
Oh, that's such a brilliant question. So
Yeah.
I did well in my prelims for matric.
yeah.
And then I hit depression when I was heading towards
Oh yes.
my finals.
Because now you're managing the kid and
I think it was a combination of a couple of things, Kuda. I think, when you hit matric, it's also horrible that you hit matric when your body is also changing.
Yeah.
Oh.
There was a lot that was happening at the time. I was still trying to be a young girl, so I'm in matric. I'm like, okay. I think the year before, I'm like, okay, maybe, I have a boyfriend, and then my best friend ends up dating my boyfriend. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, if it's not
Like,
the
there's
child,
quite a lot of
I'm now
things.
meeting these challenges. So there was too much noise in my head.
Wow. Yeah.
Way too much. And I hit depression.
Yeah.
The other day, I heard that kids as young as 2 years old can be depressed. It's really heartbreaking.
Sure.
And at that time, nobody understood what depression was.
What it means and how to handle it.
Yeah.
And
It was horrible. I couldn't study. I couldn't do much.
yeah.
I really couldn't do much, and went through my finals and had horrible results.
Wow.
Horrible results. And I mean, I don't blame UCT. My results were bad.
Yeah, it's
My
taking
results were
ownership
bad.
of what you what you have done.
So now I have to choose. So my bursary gave me 4 years. So I could use the 1 year to repeat my matric,
Okay.
or I could do a bridging course in varsity.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I failed because failure was not an option. I didn't even consider redoing matric. I liked the idea of a bridging year because I'm failing forward.
Yeah. It's one thing I'm picking up. So you already attuned your mindset to be like look, I have to make this thing work, or I have to look for what I really want and make it work.
Yeah, like I say, Kuda, I wish I could say I was that brilliant that I could see this wonderful future.
Yeah.
It wasn't clear. I just saw a light ahead.
Yeah.
Because I kept on saying, surely.
It's gonna
Surely there's
happen.
something
There's
there.
something
I don't
for
know what
me.
it is. I don't
Yeah.
even know how to get to it.
No, okay, yeah.
But any step that feels like it's taking me there, that's the one.
It's gonna
So going and redoing my matric felt like a step back,
Oh, okay.
while bridging year was a step forward. Because I'm studying varsity courses. It's just that they'll take like a half a semester course and spread it over a year. So I'm still learning something new. I've moved. I'm making progress. Remember, I've lost a year. So the
Yes,
people that
that's
I studied with before I had the kids are a
Your
year
peers.
ahead of me.
Yeah, your peers. Yeah.
So I'm battling with this. But what I missed sight of, and I only thought about it about 2 years ago, is that when I was younger, I actually skipped a grade. So age-wise, I didn't miss out on much.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like I caught up with myself.
Yes, that's true.
But I didn't see it at the time.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
So luckily, my brain took easy to computer science, and I finished my degree in time.
Yeah.
Got offered lectureship because they were looking for junior lecturers, and they were trying to get young black people into lecturing.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm sorry, I cannot afford it. I have to go and work. My family needs me to repay all the favors that people were putting together to get me here. I need to go back and work. And so wonderful, honestly. It's me just giving praise to God. Left varsity with 4 different jobs.
Wow.
Because the recruiting companies came and I did interviews everywhere, and I have no idea what I was saying. But
you had a buffet of
I was just
options,
looking.
eh?
I was looking for a job.
Yeah.
Again, I wasn't precious about my computer science. I mean,
Yeah.
I've got computer science information systems, so I can code. I could do so many different things in the IT space. So I wasn't worried. I was even willing to go for a sales job interview. I didn't care. I didn't restrict myself based on what I know or what I was dreaming about.
Yeah.
In a way, it was a blessing not to have an idea, because I could go anywhere, wherever I wanted.
A blessing not to have an idea.
It really was. It was, because I was just going with the flow. I knew the right flow, what it feels like.
Yeah.
And I knew the flow that feels stagnant. I was going with the flow that is moving.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
and
that's
took a
true.
job in Durban and came fetch my son. We stayed in Durban a little bit, and he decided no, he does better with his grandma here, so he came back, stayed a little bit on,
Okay.
came back. My career moved it from I started as a graduate trainee. I think that's what they used to call them. They were not
Yeah.
doing internships at the
Yeah.
time. We were
Oh.
doing you're hired permanently,
Yeah.
but you're on the graduate track.
Oh, okay.
So on a graduate track, you can work in different departments to widen your exposure.
Yeah, so that
And
they-
you
they-
are
they
most
make
likely
you-
going to make it into management because they want to fast track you.
Yeah, and if especially if they're getting you to management, they want you to be exposed to.
Absolutely,
All the
absolutely. So
different
I went
areas.
through that, and I started my job as a programmer. I sat there and wrote code.
You're coding
Yeah.
with your fingers, Queen.
I started.
Tuning.
I started writing code. That's why I started.
Kobo, I think Kobo.
I was writing.
Yeah.
I was mostly on SQL coding because we were dealing with data.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what I did, and decided that no, actually, I don't want to go the hardcore technical route. I want to go a little bit into the business, and became a business analyst. So moved
Okay.
from coding to become a business analyst.
Oh, okay. But you were you studying business and IT? Or
So
what?
yeah. So my degree, I majored in computer science
Yeah.
and information systems. And information systems allows you to play between IT
Yeah,
and business.
And business, yeah. Number
And I mean, I
one,
studied
number one.
accounting, economics. I did the basic financial courses to allow me to have an appreciation of business.
Nice.
And remember, I was groomed in business.
Yes, okay.
So at home, when I visited my grandparents, business everywhere around me. So I had an appreciation.
Yeah,
of it.
because you already had blood of entrepreneurship. And,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it was good to take the mix.
Nice.
And worked my way all the way up until I left corporate, having been an executive,
Nice.
working in the banking field. Some of the exciting career things that I've done is being part of the project team that launched cell phone banking for FNB.
Oh, yeah?
And also my last project in corporate was launching the Standard Bank banking app.
Nice.
And decided, okay, that's it. I like what I'm doing. I mean, I worked in the innovation space. Everything I did was exciting. It was challenging. But something inside felt like something is missing.
Okay.
Here's how I'm going to describe it to you, because I had this experience one day.
Yeah.
I remember feeling disappointed that, remember I kept on saying to you, I felt like there was more.
Yes, you mentioned.
And as you
yeah.
climbed the corporate ladder, I felt like, okay, I'm getting to the more.
Yeah.
And here I am, and I'm an executive. I'm heading the whole department myself. I've got managers reporting to me.
Yes.
You know, and there's about 3 or 4 levels in here. Yes, you always have a boss.
Yeah.
But I wondered, why can't they? Because I think in my head, there was going to be the spotlight that was going to shine on me. There was going to be the music that says you've arrived.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Theme music.
in my head, there was going to be that you've arrived.
Yeah.
And it never came. It never came. And there was always extra things that I'm missing. Like from where I was, I'm sure there were still 1,000 levels that I could have still gone.
Yeah.
And it was good, but something was missing inside of me.
Yeah.
And I started to spiral again. But I didn't understand my spiraling because it showed up as I'm struggling with time management. I'm a little unhappy. You know, on Monday when you have to put your car on gear to head forward to work,
Yes.
I always found myself on reverse.
I know, I don't want to go. Yeah.
Here's my access card. I'm trying to
But
get
you're
into
an
the building.
executive, Queen. You had everything.
But can you understand? And
Yeah.
that's why it was so hard. I felt so alone in my frustration.
Sure.
Because the whole, my universe, the people in my universe,
Yeah.
clubbed together. Strangers from nowhere came together to hook me up so that I make it. And I got this degree. I'm sort of making it to the whole world. I'm making it. I'm driving my dream car.
Yeah, we're saying you.
I'm driving my dream car. I own a house.
Yeah.
This girl from Soweto is I'm traveling. I've been to Paris. I've been to Milan.
Yeah.
I've been.
Yes, with work and
I'm arriving, right? I'm wearing nice suits, red bottoms.
Yeah.
I'm there.
all the wigs.
No, I never wore wigs because I had dreads.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So to everybody else, I made it. I'm feeling so empty.
So to people out there, they see they've got this picture, everything is okay, but you are asking a question.
Yeah.
Is this what I want? Am I fulfilled? Why am I putting this guy in reverse
Yeah.
on Monday? And we need your move.
On Sunday. Sunday afternoons, I hated them.
Because you knew what was coming.
Because I knew what was coming. But my work is exciting, guys. I do amazing things,
innovation
but I'm at the wrong place. I remember one day I wrote on my notes, "Why are you so despondent, my soul?"
Wow.
Because I was so out.
Wow.
And I couldn't explain it to anyone.
Wow.
And a few of my friends at work, I told them, they said, maybe you're bored with this company. Maybe you need a new job.
Yeah.
So I struggled for 7 years,
Wow.
just battling it. I mean, even to get the promotion to be an executive, I was like,
Yeah.
I can't take it. Because I can tell, but do it for us, black people. You'll be the first person. And I was going to be the first.
Yeah.
I was the first black person to lead that department because it's new anyway, right? So, and the black females are going,
Yeah, a black female as well.
I'm a black female. Like everything. I mean, the world was my oyster.
Yeah.
The company would have taken me anywhere. In the country of the 4 big banks, I'm the only black woman who's in that kind of position. I'm hotcakes.
Yeah. Chocolate.
I'm dying inside. I'm dying inside.
Yeah.
But anyway, one day I decided to use the services of a coach to assist me with what looked like a time management issue.
Nice.
And she gave me a couple of tools. But the thing about coaching is it doesn't hit the surface. Because time management, by the way, for those of you out there who feel you're struggling with time management, it's a symptom, it's like a cough. It's not the issue.
Oh, yeah.
Time management tells you there's always an underlying issue.
Something, yes.
So my coach helped me to figure out, and now I had to face this big, ugly, messy thing that I can't even explain. And as she was helping me to work through it, I looked up, I remember this moment like, vividly. I looked up at her and I said, that's what I want to do with my life.
Nice.
And then I researched it, I asked her more questions, and as they say, the rest is history.
Yeah.
From a coaching point of view, but I still had to make that difficult decision of I'm quitting my job. Now, all the people who contributed and clapped together for me to get this degree.
Yeah.
There's noise. There's noise in my world and my system.
I think at this point we need Queen. Sorry, you please introduce yourself, like what you do right now, because so that the guys can also understand as well. Like, this is where we are.
So I am an executive coach.
Yeah.
I am a published author. I am also a leader, a trainer of leaders.
Yeah,
I do
nice.
leadership training. I facilitate team sessions. I play in the personal development space and the leadership development space. That's what I do. I'm a life coach, yes, executive coach, but also a mindset conditioning coach. And to me,
Nice.
I put it all together. A coach is a coach. I mean, you don't even need to qualify it.
Yeah.
Because as a coach, my job is to hold the space for you to figure your stuff out.
Exactly.
You see, when I was young and going through that pregnancy mess,
that fire.
I thought everybody had figured it out. I was the idiot who hadn't figured it out.
Yeah.
So I spent a lot of time trying to find life answers because I need to catch up. They are ahead of me.
Yes.
And one day I woke up and realized, no, they didn't get it.
Yeah.
They didn't even do the
They're
work.
still figuring it out.
And some will never figure it out because they believe that they have it. So back to my worst challenge was my best gift.
Yeah, that's power, eh?
Best gift because it got me to focus, it got me to learn and to be inquisitive about life and to believe that there is more, to say surely.
Yeah.
Those things for me are the ingredients that made me the person that I am today.
Nice.
So that's the work I do, and that's how I ended up in coaching from that messy experience. And I think that's what I want to say. There is the blessing of the mess.
Yes. Yeah.
But you've got to be willing to look at your mess and look for the blessing.
Wow.
Because in my teenage pregnancy mess, were the gifts that I just shared now, the focus and all that stuff.
Yeah.
In the mess of trying to figure out where the hell am I taking my career, is me bumping into amazing people I would have never met. Even if I became group CEO, I would have never met the people that I met because I jumped from the corporate stream into a completely different stream. And there's a whole kettle of people that play here that don't play there. So the appreciation I have is your degree, your qualification is just teaching you how to think. It's not everything. If you studied to be a CA, you don't have to do CA work.
Oh,
you can do anything you want to do.
yes.
You just learned how to think. Now just take that thinking ability and apply it where you want to be.
Oh, yes.
Wherever that is. And I believe in the power of detours.
Oh, yeah.
So someone would say, teenage pregnancy was my life taking a detour.
Yeah.
I don't think so. But let's say it is. That detour gave me beautiful gifts. Going and studying computer science when I didn't even know what the hell that was.
Yeah. You just put it on. That's why I wanted to go to Rhodes. You told me I wanted to say, let me go tick it up.
Right?
Yeah.
That was a detour. It looks like a detour.
Yeah.
But that is where I was made.
Nice.
That's where I became. So it's the struggles of life, it's the detours that help you to become.
Nice.
It's not where you end up that matters. I don't think it even matters.
Yeah.
On my way to surely there's more, I bumped into computer science. I bumped into so many things.
Yes, the learnings.
So it's not your destination. It's not that dream that you have, young person out there that says, I want to be this. It's not the dream that's everything. You must have the dream because the dream gets you in motion. You bump into the miracles of life when you're in motion. When you're sitting still, you don't bump into nothing. You've got to be, your dream pulls you forward. It's in the motion and the movement as you move forward that you bump into this person. You take this detour, you do this. That's life.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
So I became from all the messes of my life. I mean, I've been in several burning buildings for some reason, and I made it out. I've been in horrific car accidents, and I made it out.
Yeah.
And each time that happens, I say to myself, surely I'm still needed. Surely it means I still have work to do here.
True.
I need to be here. I need to do something with my life. There's someone that I need to touch. 2 weeks ago, after I finished coaching with one of my clients, she said to me, because she knows that I changed my career, she says, I'm so grateful that you changed your career because I couldn't have had this conversation with anyone else.
Ah, power.
And I was like, if my career change was just for her, it's worth it.
Yes, you've changed lives.
Then I've changed her life,
you've changed
right?
lives. Ah, number one.
And that's where the name of my company comes from. It's changing lives. It's changing levels, right?
Yeah.
It's helping people to move from one level to another.
Higher.
Because it is in the stepping forward, as I said. That's where you bump into miracles. That's where you bump into opportunity.
Nice.
That's where you bump into God.
Yeah.
And God is life for me. He's in the path.
Yeah,
so if you
true.
never make it to the path, you'll never even bump into him and the possibilities.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
So in my struggle with my identity, I mean, I've mentioned a couple of things, but there is when you arrive, when you're seen to be arrived, where you're driving the car, you've got the stuff, you look the part, and people identify you with that. And you may also make the mistake of identifying yourself with that. And I didn't know what was happening for me until I left my job.
Sure, yeah.
And I met new people and I had to introduce myself. Didn't realize how, now I'm confused, how do I introduce myself? Because in corporate, hi, my name is Queen, I'm the head of blah, 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 blah.
Executive.
Executive, blah, blah, blah. That's how I'm introducing myself, right?
Yeah.
Now I've left corporate, now I have to introduce myself, and suddenly my name has to be enough. I can't tell you the wrestling there.
Yeah, I think that's quite important. Understanding the identity, understanding where you're coming from. You see, you struggled from the voice, from the identity part. Identity, I think it really brings out a lot in us.
Yeah.
Because you're coming from royal blood, right?
It does. And it's never meant anything to anyone around me.
Yeah. And I guess maybe it makes sense why you're always asking what next, because you need to work with people.
I do.
You need to change people's lives, because if you're leadership, royal, you need to serve.
My job is to serve. I'm here to serve. Every fire I've survived, every accident I've survived was for me to serve somebody. And I need to be in service.
Yeah.
That, and I didn't understand then. You remember earlier I spoke about that gap. I have the position, I have everything, but there's a gap inside of me.
Oh, yeah.
It was a service gap.
Yeah.
And we all have it because we were all made to serve somebody. Your gifts, talents that you have, they're not for you. They're not here to serve you. They're here to serve somebody else.
Yeah.
And it is in service of others that your cup gets filled.
Nice.
When somebody says, I'm so grateful that you left your job because I needed this conversation.
Yeah.
Boom, my cup is full.
And you're living an executive. Hey, Queen, we could have been rolling right now with your executive position.
I know I could have been, right? I could have been. I'm looking at the people who used to report to me. They're now CEOs, CFOs, COOs. I'm like, hey, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's good.
That is amazing.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
And it's been 10 years since I left corporate. It's been a very interesting journey, finding a new identity.
Nice.
Finding my passion, and I do want to talk about purpose.
Yes, that's
because
important.
I thought purpose was something I was going to find.
Yeah.
But your purpose is something, it's in you, you're already doing it. It might not have a name, you might not have put a name on it. You are already doing it.
Sure.
It's the thing that connects, it's the thing that connects the dots of your life, that brings meaning. You're already doing it. How do I know? Let's talk about the B.
There's an amazing coach. I'm going to tell you something, Queen. There's an amazing coach that taught me a few things, and she spoke about this purpose. And she said that, what does a bee do? What do you think a bee does? What's the purpose of a bee? obviously from here we think, hey, it's a honey and stuff. It's making honey and stuff. But I'll tell you this. Okay, what about, when a bee comes here, right? It's here, right? And then gets pollen, right? The thing is, right? And then it moves from here to there, right? So it's gonna cross-pollinate, right? But that's one. The other one, they protect the queen. Obviously,
And the
we've got
queen
workers,
bee.
bee workers. But you see, if you ask the bee, what do you do?
What's your
Why
purpose?
are you here? The bee doesn't even know that it's cross-pollinating. Flowers
Yes.
are moving, right?
100%.
We think it's the honey. We're getting the honey.
Yeah.
Yes, honey.
Yes, honey.
Yeah. And it's got like a lot, but like if you ask the bee,
The
like
bee
what is
doesn't
it?
know. Yeah, the bee doesn't know.
Yeah.
The bee would never say its purpose is cross-pollination, and yet it is doing it every single day. Every time it takes flight from one flower to another, it's doing it.
Number one.
It contributes to our food stability. Without bees, humans would be in deep trouble.
Yeah.
But the bee doesn't wake up to sustain a human being.
It doesn't even know that.
bother. It doesn't know. It doesn't think about us.
Yeah.
It focuses on its day-to-day life.
True.
And that's where purpose plays. And that's where
Yes.
I hear a lot of young people because I'm starting to do a lot of work with graduates now.
Oh, nice.
Because I focus on executives, but I've decided that some of the problems we have at executive level actually started much earlier.
From the roots.
So for the past 3 years, I've been working with graduates
Nice. Okay.
and helping them to, well, I actually went to be a student more than anything. I went to learn from them.
Yes.
Yes, I would come with a program that I'm teaching them,
Yeah.
but I came to learn
Yeah.
from them, right? But in many of them, what they say is they're looking for this big thing that's going to happen, that's going to catapult them forward.
Yeah.
But could I would not have done my job if I leave here today and I don't say this. It's not the big things that get you there.
Yeah.
It is the day to day, every day.
Yeah.
If you wake up and you go to the job, or you wake up and you do this, that's where you bump into the miracles of life.
Yeah.
If you're not waking up and doing the mundane things and faithful in the mundane things and become excellent in the mundane things, that big thing that you think you're waiting for, you're never going to bump into it.
Yeah. Goosebumps. Yeah.
I'm sitting and I think I always say this in every podcast. And I'm thinking of a person on the other side.
Yeah.
Listening.
Yeah.
Thinking, I'm in their shoes and I'm listening to this and I'm like, okay. Like
Yeah.
the pregnant teenager right now listening to
Yeah, but she ended up being an executive and now she's got her own company. and you know, yeah,
Yes.
and you know what, Queen, like a lot of guys, like right now, I think we also gonna reach out to the youth. There's a brilliant angel that told me that it's Youth Month in June, so I'm going to so we're gonna reach out to also university and also ask challenges. It's basically 3 questions we're gonna ask. What are your major challenges? Because we know we always have issues, like as growing up, like you mentioned in your spaces, and some of the things you realize, no, they were not major things, but later on you realize, no, these ones were the proper ones that I needed to address.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're gonna ask them, what are your major challenges? We're gonna ask them, what do you aspire to become, right? You didn't know about this computer since you just went and ching ching.
Yeah. So I want to say to them, if they don't know what they're aspiring
Yeah.
for, it is okay.
Yes.
They're on the right path as long as they are aiming for something bigger than them.
Yes, that question, that thing that you were saying, that, no, I'm meant for, but I don't know, but I'm meant for.
Yeah.
And I constantly work with that and reflection. You mentioned a very important thing about reflecting and asking questions, that curiosity.
Yeah.
I believe it's something that's also
It's
important
everything.
to get to the next step. And the last question we're going to ask them, she's going to ask you.
Yes.
Right now, the one question that's important, she's going to ask you.
What makes you smile?
I love learning. As soon as I see someone learning, I'm smiling.
Nice.
If I see myself learning, I'm smiling. If I see us just being human, because I grew up very much clumsy, socially clumsy, because I spent too much time hiding. So when I just see a human being human and flawed and embracing it, I smile because I think that's admirable. That's something that I wish I did much earlier.
Yeah, that's pie.
That's it. So on Youth Month, I'd love to say this to the youth: stay open on your journey. If you can't find a job that you're dreaming about, but you find this other job, take it. Because it's in detours that you bump into the real stuff.
Yeah, it's a stepping stone to the next level.
Yeah, don't be afraid of detours.
Yeah.
They'll change your life. They changed mine.
She changes levels though. Not like she changes higher level. All I do is win no matter what.
Yes.
Number one. No. Number one.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
I know that the youth of today has different problems from the ones that we had. But I want to say that what gets you out of it is the same things. It's your mind. How are you thinking about it? Have you written yourself off? When others write you off, do you also believe them? Because if you choose to agree with them, you're done.
That's quite important. I see that happening also. Well, a lot of people also share the same thing. I also experience that. Key thing is mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah, because life is like a battery, positive and negative.
Yeah.
It depends where you want to incline on, if you want to be more on the negative side or the positive side. But that helps you. Remember last time when I spoke about attitude. Not intelligence, but attitude. Like you see, like how she changed even careers, right?
Yeah.
But still, it's because she was saying, no, there's something. It's the attitude. There's something.
Yeah, at the back, classroom maths.
Yeah.
I still see it. It was a yellow cover. I still see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I wanted to keep my mind sharp. Keep your body sharp, young people. You only have one. Keep your mind sharp.
Yeah.
Stop this what is it? I don't want to call it self-abuse, but it's self-harm. Actually, that's the word I was looking for, self-harm. Where, because you feel in your pain, you drink. You feel in your pain, you smoke.
Yeah.
You feel in your pain, you focus on abusive things like substance or even social media addiction, pornography.
Yeah.
Your mind is what you need.
True.
But your mind in an unhealthy body you're stuffed.
Yeah. It's not gonna work.
Look after yourself. You are the future. When I deal with graduates, I say to them, you are my future. You are my future leader.
Yeah.
I'm invested in you succeeding.
True.
Because if you succeed, I succeed.
Number one.
Yeah.
Number one. No, thank you, Queen. This was an amazing moment. I think we definitely gonna reach out to a lot of people, but we would like to see you again, if
It will
possible.
Sure, it will be a pleasure to come back.
Yeah, two more.
No
more
problem.
sessions.
As many as you need.
Yeah.
As many as you need, because it's tough to tell your life story in a couple of minutes, right?
True.
Like I literally hit the top, and I'm just really talking about the life side, but there's so many other things that I'd love us to talk about.
Yeah.
And I'd love to also talk to young people. So if you bring me here, if you promise to bring a young person in to ask their questions and whatever, I'm
Definitely.
here.
So what we're going to do, we're going to spend some time also going to universities and speak with the young people, what they're experiencing. And then we get that as well. And that's some of the stuff that we're also going to be working with in terms of relating it to people that are already at another level. Because not everyone thinks that, like you had teenage pregnancy, right?
Yeah.
Some people will say, I'm done. I'm gone.
Oh, hell no.
But look where you are.
I started.
You see.
When they said I ended, I started.
You see. So those are some of the things that we would also want to share and make sure that, the African mind, child understands that, look, it's where I am, it's not where I'm going to end up being.
Yeah, it's not where you start.
Yeah.
Where you start is you start with the lessons that are grooming you for where you are going.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you despise where you start, you'll miss the lessons.
Yeah, yeah.
And no one should save you from those lessons. Like I cried and wish my dad never left then. I was so young, I needed him.
Yeah.
But boy, am I so grateful now.
Yeah.
Because I became.
So it's not every situation, the bad situation, that's bad.
No, some storms come to lift the boat. They don't come to destroy it.
Number one.
So,
Yeah. So it's how you perceive things.
yeah.
Choose to go to the positive or to
Absolutely.
negative.
And sorry, Kuda. Again, I don't want to forget to say this. You could choose to blame your parents forever, and then to say it, you're stuffed. There should come a point in your life where you say, "Thank you, mommy and daddy.
Yeah.
You did your best. Yes, you stuffed up as well.
Yeah.
They know they did.
Yeah.
I know I'm a mom. I did. I stuffed up big time."
Yeah.
And then take responsibility.
That's power.
If you never
That's
arrive
power.
there, you are forever a victim.
Yeah.
And I'm nobody's victim.
Yeah. Number one. Wonderful. Thank you, Queen.
Thank you,
Thank you
Kuda.
very much. Ombukadzi, are we good?
She's my fellow queen. She told me she's like Ndlovu, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, fellow queen.
Yeah.